Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about Jefferson nickels, one of the most collected and surprisingly valuable U.S. coins. Many people don't realize that some Jefferson nickels, hiding in their pocket change, could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. These classic American coins have been around since 1938, featuring Thomas Jefferson and his home, Monticello. But certain years, mint marks, and even small design differences can make one of these nickels extremely rare and valuable. So make sure you watch this video all the way to the end, because you might discover that an old Jefferson nickel in your collection is worth way more than 5 cents. And if you love learning about rare and valuable U.S. coins, make sure to subscribe so you never miss my next video on hidden coin treasures. Let's get started. First up, the 1964 Jefferson nickel with a D mint mark is one of the most talked about and collected coins in American history. And today, we're diving deep into why this particular nickel is so special, so valuable, and so significant to coin collectors and treasure hunters across the United States. Minted in Denver, the 1964 D Jefferson nickel represents the final year before the U.S. Mint removed mint marks from coins for several years due to coin shortages in the mid-1960s. That alone gives the 1964 D nickel a unique place in numismatic history. But the real excitement begins when we start talking about its rarity and pristine condition, its design details, its composition, and the record-breaking prices it has achieved at auction. Many people overlook the 1964 Jefferson nickel because it was produced in massive quantities, but the reality is that certain examples, especially those with rare errors or exceptional mint luster, can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars today. The coin itself features the classic design by Felix Schlag, which has graced the Jefferson nickel since its debut in 1938. On the obverse, we see a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. Above his head are the words, "In God We Trust." To the left we read "Liberty," and the date 1964 is struck clearly to the right. Just beside the date lies the all-important D mint mark, identifying this coin as one struck at the Denver Mint. On the reverse side, we see Jefferson's home, Monticello, along with the inscriptions E pluribus unum, Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America. The design may seem simple, but tiny variations in strike quality, die wear, and minting errors can dramatically affect the value of this coin. Now, when we talk about value, the 1964 D Jefferson nickel stands out because of how condition-sensitive it is. In average circulated condition, this coin is still worth its face value of 5 cents. But when you find one in uncirculated or mint state condition, the value can increase dramatically. A 1964 D Jefferson nickel in MS-65 condition can easily be worth $15 to $30, while examples in MS-66 and above begin to attract serious collector attention. The highest recorded price for a 1964 D Jefferson nickel was achieved at a heritage auction sale, where a stunning 1964 D nickel graded MS-67 by Piece GS sold for an impressive $6,325. This extraordinary example displayed blazing luster, near-perfect surfaces, and an exceptional strike for the issue, making it a standout rarity among millions of coins struck that year. That record auction price demonstrates the incredible potential value that even a seemingly common coin can hold when it's in pristine condition. What's even more fascinating about the 1964 D Jefferson nickel is that it was minted during a time of transition in U.S. coinage. The nation was facing a widespread coin shortage, and the U.S. Mint ramped up production of nickels, dimes, and quarters to keep up with demand. Over 1.7 billion 1964 D Jefferson nickels were produced, one of the highest mintage figures in U.S. history. However, with such massive production, quality control issues were common, leading to weak strikes, die deterioration, and other minor imperfections. Because of this, finding a sharply struck 1964 D nickel with full steps on Monticello is a real challenge. Collectors prize examples that show all 6 full steps on Monticello, as these are incredibly difficult to find due to the worn dies used during mass production. Coins that exhibit full steps and are graded MS-66 or higher can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on eye appeal and surface preservation. There are also several era varieties associated with the 1964 D. Jefferson nickel that can increase its value. These include double dies, off-center strikes, and coins with die cracks or planchet flaws. The most famous among these is the 1964 D. double die reverse, where the lettering on the reverse, particularly around E pluribus unum and Monticello, appears doubled. These errors are rare and can bring in significant premiums, depending on the sharpness of the doubling and the overall condition of the coin. Some examples of these era nickels have sold for several $100s, proving once again that it's always worth inspecting your pocket change carefully. The composition of the 1964 D. Jefferson nickel is another interesting point for collectors. Like other nickels of its era, it's made of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it that familiar silvery color and durability. Unlike silver coins, these nickels don't have intrinsic metal value, but their collectible worth is determined entirely by condition, rarity, and demand. Still, even though they're not made of precious metal, high-grade 1964 D nickels can be far more valuable than some silver coins, which surprises many new collectors. Collectors and investors today continue to hunt for the elusive perfect 1964 D. Jefferson nickel. The combination of high mintage numbers, common wear, and limited quality control means that finding one with superb luster and full steps is a real treasure. Coins that have been well preserved since the 1960s, especially those kept in original mint sets or rolls, are the most promising candidates for high grades. When searching through old change jars, rolls from banks, or inherited coin collections, it's always worth checking the 1964 nickels closely, especially those with the D mint mark from Denver. When you think about the history behind the 1964 D. Jefferson nickel, it's easy to understand why collectors find it fascinating. This was the last year that mint marks appeared on U.S. coins until 1968, marking the end of an era. It was also a time of economic uncertainty, rapid technological change, and social transformation in the United States. The coins from that era carry with them the story of a nation adapting to change while still holding onto its traditions. Many collectors build complete Jefferson nickel sets, and having a top-quality 1964 D is essential for completing that collection. For anyone serious about numismatics, understanding the different die varieties and recognizing the importance of full-step designations is key. The Jefferson nickel series is one of the most collected coin series in the United States because it spans decades and tells a rich story of American history. In summary, the 1964 Jefferson nickel with a D mint mark may seem like an ordinary coin, but its potential value, historical importance, and collector demand make it anything but common. While billions were minted, only a small fraction remain in pristine, mint state condition. If you happen to find one with sharp details, full steps, and a brilliant surface, you could be holding a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The record sale of $6,325 proves that exceptional examples of this coin are highly sought after and can bring in serious money at auction. So the next time you come across a 1964 D. Jefferson nickel, take a closer look. You might just have a rare and valuable piece of American coinage history right in your hands. Next up, the 1979 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark is one of the most fascinating modern coins that continues to surprise collectors and coin enthusiasts across the United States. Even though it looks like an ordinary 5-cent piece at first glance, this coin can be far more valuable than most people realize, especially when found in exceptional condition or with unique minting characteristics. The absence of a mint mark on this coin means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and for collectors, that small detail carries a lot of historical and numismatic importance. Many people overlook the 1979 Jefferson nickel because they assume coins from the late 1970s aren't worth much, but in reality, certain examples of this specific year without a mint mark have sold for impressive amounts at auction, showing that this is a coin worth paying attention to. The 1979 Jefferson nickel features the long-standing design created by Felix Schlag, which has been used on the nickel since 1938. The obverse side of the coin displays the left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States and one of the nation's founding fathers. Around the portrait, you'll find inscriptions "In God We Trust" on the left and "Liberty," followed by the date 1979 on the right. Unlike coins minted in Denver or San Francisco, there's no mint mark under the date on this coin, which identifies it as having been struck in Philadelphia. On the reverse, Jefferson's famous home, Monticello, is prominently displayed with the inscriptions "E Pluribus Unum" at the top, Monticello in the center, 5 cents below it, and United States of America wrapping around the bottom. Now, what makes the 1979 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark particularly interesting is that while millions were struck, only a small fraction of them have survived in pristine, mint state condition. Most of these nickels entered circulation and quickly picked up wear, scratches, and dullness from use. However, those that remained untouched, especially examples with sharp details and clean surfaces, can be highly sought after by collectors today. The typical 1979 no mint mark Jefferson nickel in circulated condition is worth its face value of 5 cents, but the story changes completely when we look at uncirculated and high-grade examples. A coin graded MS65 or higher can easily bring in anywhere from $10 to $30, while superb gem examples with full steps on Monticello can command hundreds of dollars. The term "full steps" refers to the sharpness of the strike on the steps of Jefferson's Monticello on the reverse of the coin. Because of striking inconsistencies at the time, it's quite rare to find 1979 Jefferson nickels with fully defined steps. The Philadelphia Mint, like others in the late 1970s, focused heavily on mass production rather than precision, and this led to weaker strikes and worn dies being used longer than ideal. That means full-step examples of the 1979 no mint mark nickel are among the most desirable and valuable pieces from this era. Coins graded by professional services as MS67 with full steps are extremely rare and can fetch astonishing prices at auction. In fact, the highest price ever recorded at auction for a 1979 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark was a spectacular $2,875, realized for a 1979 nickel graded MS67 with full steps by PCGS. This remarkable example displayed brilliant luster, nearly flawless surfaces, and sharply defined steps on Monticello, making it a standout among millions of other coins from that same year. This auction record proves that even a coin that many people overlook in their spare change can hold serious value in the right condition. The key to unlocking that value lies in the details, sharp strikes, clean surfaces, and original mint luster. Another fascinating aspect of the 1979 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark is that it came out during a transitional period in U.S. coinage history. The late 1970s marked the beginning of a new era of coin production where the mint was improving its technology, but quality control still varied greatly from batch to batch. Many 1979 nickels display weak strikes on Jefferson's hair and the Monticello steps, as well as slight die deterioration. Because of that, collectors spend a great deal of time searching through coin rolls and old collections trying to find examples with crisp details and full steps. These coins stand out immediately when compared side by side with average strikes. There are also a few minor varieties and errors known for the 1979 no mint mark Jefferson nickel. Some examples have slight die cracks, die clashes, or off-center strikes. While most of these errors are subtle, they can still add collector interest and a small premium to the coin's value. More dramatic errors, such as off-metal strikes or broad-struck examples, are rare but can sell for hundreds of dollars, depending on the magnitude of the error and overall eye appeal. Even slight doubling in the lettering or numbers, known as a double die variety, can significantly boost the value if confirmed. The composition of the 1979 Jefferson nickel remains the traditional 75% copper and 25% nickel alloy that gives the coin its silvery appearance and durability. It has a diameter of 21.2 millimeters and weighs 5 grams, consistent with all modern nickels. While the metal content doesn't hold intrinsic value like silver or gold coins, the true worth of the 1979 no mint mark Jefferson nickel lies in its rarity in top condition, its collectible status, and its potential to surprise even experienced coin hunters. If you're checking through your change, coin rolls, or old family coin jars, it's always a good idea to pay attention to 1979 nickels, especially those without any mint mark. Take a close look under the date. If you see no letter like D or S, you're holding a coin from the Philadelphia Mint. Then, look at the Monticello steps on the reverse. The more visible and complete the steps, the higher the potential value of your coin. Even a lightly circulated example with strong details could be worth more than face value to the right collector. For many numismatists, the Jefferson nickel series represents one of the most rewarding areas of U.S. coin collecting. It spans decades of American history, from the late 1930s through today, showcasing design consistency and subtle variations that tell the story of changing minting technologies and economic times. The 1979 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark is part of that ongoing story, a coin that connects the modern era with the classic age of American coin design. When you consider the fact that a coin that once sat in someone's pocket as everyday change could later sell for nearly $3,000 at auction, it becomes clear why so many collectors take the time to study and examine these coins in detail. The 1979 no mint mark Jefferson nickel reminds us that even modern coins can hold hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. It's a valuable lesson in the world of coin collecting. Never assume a coin's worth by its age or appearance alone. So if you ever come across a 1979 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark that appears shiny, well-detailed, and crisp, take a closer look. It could be worth much more than 5 cents. The record sale of $2,875 proves that high-grade examples of this coin are highly sought after and can command impressive prices. Every coin collector dreams of finding that one rare piece hiding in plain sight, and the 1979 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark continues to be one of those exciting possibilities. Whether you're just getting into coin collecting or you've been searching through change for years, this coin is a perfect reminder of how valuable American nickels can truly be. Next up, the 1975 Jefferson nickel with a D mint mark is one of those modern American coins that many people overlook, but collectors know it holds surprising potential value, especially in pristine mint condition or when showing rare minting characteristics. While most people assume nickels from the 1970s are common and worth only face value, certain examples of the 1975 D Jefferson nickel have proven to be extremely valuable at auction, with record-breaking prices that make collectors pay attention. The D mint mark on this coin indicates it was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the busiest U.S. mints during that decade, producing millions of coins each year to keep up with national demand. Even with such a high mintage, true gem-quality examples of the 1975 Jefferson nickel with the D mint mark are surprisingly scarce, and that scarcity is exactly what drives their collector value today. The 1975 D Jefferson nickel features the iconic portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, designed by Felix Schlag in 1938 and still used for decades afterward. On the obverse, you'll see Jefferson's profile facing left, surrounded by the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," on the left side, and "Liberty," followed by the date, 1975, on the right. Just to the right of the date is the D mint mark, denoting the Denver Mint. On the reverse of the coin, Jefferson's home, Monticello, is depicted in fine architectural detail, with E pluribus unum above it. Monticello, centered beneath the building, and 5 cents, along with United States of America below. Though simple, this classic design has made the Jefferson nickel a lasting symbol of U.S. coinage for more than 8 decades. The composition of the 1975 D Jefferson nickel is the standard alloy used since the mid-20th century, 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it that familiar silvery color and durability. The coin weighs 5 grams and measures 21.2 millimeters in diameter, with a smooth edge. Even though it doesn't contain any silver, collectors are not drawn to this coin for its metal content, but for its condition, strike quality, and rarity in high grades. In circulated condition, a 1975 D Jefferson nickel typically holds its face value of 5 cents. But when found in mint state or uncirculated condition, especially with sharp details and full steps on Monticello, the coin's value can rise dramatically. One of the main reasons the 1975 D. Jefferson nickel can be valuable is due to the difficulty of finding examples with full steps. The full steps designation refers to the horizontal lines on Monticello's staircase on the reverse side. These lines must be fully visible and unbroken to qualify for the designation. Because of worn dies and weaker striking pressure used at the Denver Mint during this era, most coins from 1975 do not show fully defined steps. As a result, those few examples that do have sharp, complete steps are rare and command premium prices. Coins with 5 or 6 full steps are especially prized by collectors, and these are the ones that have reached the highest auction prices. The highest price ever recorded at auction for a 1975 D. Jefferson nickel was an impressive $1,840, achieved for a specimen graded MS-67 with full steps by PCGS. This coin represented one of the finest known examples of its kind, displaying incredible luster, pinpoint details, and fully struck steps on Monticello. The strike quality and surface preservation made it stand out among millions of other 1975 D nickels. That record sale shows just how valuable a seemingly common nickel can become when it's preserved in pristine condition and graded at the top of the scale. While most 1975 D. Jefferson nickels will never reach such high prices, many can still be worth far more than face value depending on condition. For example, coins graded MS-65 without full steps can sell for around $10 to $20, while MS-66 examples can reach $40 to $75 or more. But when a 1975 D. Jefferson nickel has full steps and is graded MS-66 or MS-67, it can easily sell for hundreds of dollars, and the finest known pieces can approach or exceed the 4-figure range. It's also worth noting that minor minting errors from this year can boost the coin's value further. Some known examples include off-center strikes, die cracks, and die clashes. These errors, while not always common, add uniqueness and desirability for specialized collectors. Collectors often search rolls of nickels from banks or old change jars, hoping to find one of these hidden treasures. Even though millions of 1975 D nickels were made, the chance of finding a near-perfect coin is slim. Many circulated coins have scratches, dull surfaces, and worn details. But every now and then, a coin from an old roll or mint set emerges that shows sharp detail, full steps, and brilliant mid-luster, the kind of coin that gets collectors excited. These finds prove that valuable coins are still out there waiting to be discovered. The 1970s were a transitional time for U.S. coinage. While silver had long since been removed from most denominations, the Mint continued refining its processes to produce durable and uniform coins for circulation. The 1975 D. Jefferson nickel came out of this era as a workhorse coin, one that helped keep commerce moving across the country. But for coin enthusiasts, it also represents a fascinating piece of history and a potential treasure if found in the right condition. For anyone interested in Jefferson nickels, the 1975 D issue is a must-know coin. It's not only a collectible for its age, but also for its role in the continuing story of American coinage. The Felix Schlag design had already been in use for nearly 4 decades by 1975, yet its details still depended heavily on the precision of each die pair used at the Mint. Some of those dies produced weaker strikes, while others delivered crisp, full details that today's collectors prize. That variation is why grading and careful inspection matter so much in determining the value of a 1975 D. Jefferson nickel. If you come across a 1975 Jefferson nickel with a D mint mark, take a close look. Examine the steps on Monticello. If you can count 5 or 6 clearly defined lines without breaks, you may have something special. Even if the coin shows only light wear, it might still bring in a small premium over face value. But if it's in mint condition, with original luster and sharp detail, its value could be far higher than you'd expect. And if it has full steps and grades above MS-66, it could be worth hundreds or even over $1,000, as proven by that record auction sale of $1,840. So while the 1975 D. Jefferson nickel may seem like just another 5-cent coin from the past, It carries the potential to be a rare and valuable piece of U.S. numismatic history. Coins like this remind us that treasures can be hiding in plain sight, in old coin jars, inherited collections, or even pocket change. The combination of rarity, historical context, and condition makes the 1975 D. Jefferson nickel a coin every collector should be aware of. Whether you're an experienced numismatist or a beginner just starting to explore coin collecting, keep an eye out for this year and mint mark, because the next rare find could be waiting in your hands. Next up, the 1990 Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark is one of the modern U.S. coins that many people overlook, but collectors and coin experts know that this nickel can be surprisingly valuable in the right condition. Most people think that coins from the 1990s are too recent to have any collector worth, but that's far from the truth when it comes to the 1990 P. Jefferson nickel. This coin, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, can hold significant value when found in pristine mint state condition, particularly when it exhibits sharp details, strong luster, and the highly coveted full steps designation on Monticello. Even though hundreds of millions were minted, only a small fraction have survived with flawless surfaces and perfect strikes, which is what makes certain 1990 Jefferson nickels with the P mint mark truly rare and collectible today. The obverse of the 1990 Jefferson nickel features the enduring portrait of Thomas Jefferson, designed by Felix Schlag. This design has appeared on the nickel since 1938 and remains one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. Jefferson's profile faces left, surrounded by the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," on the left and "Liberty," followed by the date, 1990, on the right side. Just next to the date, you can clearly see the P mint mark, signifying that this coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. On the reverse, Jefferson's historic home, Monticello, stands proudly in the center, with the Latin motto, E pluribus unum above it. Monticello, just beneath the building, and 5 cents, and United States of America encircling the bottom. While the design may look familiar, the quality of the strike and the coin's overall preservation make a huge difference in its collector value. The 1990 Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark was struck in huge quantities. Over 661 million coins were minted that year in Philadelphia. With such a high mintage, it might seem like this coin couldn't possibly be rare, but the key lies in condition and details. Most of these nickels went straight into circulation, where they picked up scratches, nicks, and dulling from years of use. Coins that have remained untouched, stored carefully in mint sets, or preserved from circulation can display the kind of brilliance and detail that serious collectors seek out. The biggest prize among these are the coins that show what collectors call full steps on Monticello. Full steps refer to the clearly visible horizontal lines on the steps of Jefferson's home on the reverse side. These lines often appear weak or blurred because of worn dies and lower striking pressure. So finding a coin with all 5 or 6 steps visible and unbroken is extremely rare. A 1990 P. Jefferson nickel in average circulated condition is typically worth only its face value of 5 cents. However, in mint state grades, the story changes entirely. A coin graded MS-65 might bring $10 to $20. MS-66 examples can reach $40 to $75, and MS-67 coins are even rarer and can easily sell for hundreds of dollars. But when you move into the full steps category, the price can rise dramatically. The sharpness of the strike, the smoothness of the fields, and the overall eye appeal of the coin play a massive role in determining its value. The highest auction price ever recorded for a 1990 Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark was a staggering $1,265, achieved for a specimen graded MS-67 with full steps by PCGS. This coin displayed incredible brilliance, razor-sharp detail, and perfectly preserved surfaces that set it apart from millions of others minted that year. This record sale shows how valuable modern nickels can become when they are preserved in top condition and display those sought-after full steps. Even though the 1990 P. Jefferson nickel is considered a modern issue, the demand for high-quality examples continues to grow among collectors, particularly those building registry sets of Jefferson nickels in top grades. The 1990s were a decade of steady change and technological improvement at the U.S. Mint. Coin presses were becoming more precise, but variations in die wear and striking pressure still meant that some coins came out weakly struck, while others were crisp and detailed. That's why even within the same mintage year, there can be a huge difference in quality between coins. For the 1990 P-nickel, examples with strong strikes and full steps are considered exceptional and command strong premiums in the collector market. Another reason collectors are drawn to the 1990 Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark is the presence of minor die varieties and minting errors that occasionally appear on coins from this year. While not extremely common, some coins have been found with slight die cracks, off-center strikes, or die clashes where parts of the design appear in areas they shouldn't. These error nickels are always interesting to collectors and can increase a coin's desirability and value, depending on the severity of the mistake. For example, a lightly off-center 1990 P Jefferson nickel could sell for $20 to $50, while a major error or double strike could go for much more. The composition of the 1990 P Jefferson nickel is the classic 75% copper and 25% nickel alloy that's been used for decades. It weighs 5 grams and measures 21.2 millimeters across, with a plain edge. This composition ensures durability, but also gives the coin its characteristic silvery color. Unlike older nickels made of silver during wartime years, the 1990 version doesn't have intrinsic metal value. Its worth comes entirely from rarity, grade, and collector demand. And because modern coins are often taken for granted, pristine examples of late 20th century nickels, like the 1990 P, are surprisingly tough to find, making them a hidden gem in the world of coin collecting. For collectors who specialize in Jefferson nickels, the 1990 P issue is particularly interesting because it represents a bridge between older, heavily circulated mid-century nickels and the highly polished, machine-perfect coins of more recent decades. Finding one that meets the demanding full-step standard is an exciting discovery, and such coins often end up being submitted for professional grading. Once certified and slabbed by top grading companies, these coins can enter competitive registry sets, driving up their desirability and market value. If you happen to come across a 1990 Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark in your pocket change, it's always worth taking a closer look. Examine the Monticello steps carefully under good lighting or magnification. If the steps appear clear and unbroken, and if the coin surface still has its original shine without heavy scratches or nicks, you could be holding a coin worth much more than 5 cents. Even examples without full steps but with a strong strike and mint state appearance can be worth several dollars. Coins that display full steps and grade above MS66 are very difficult to find and could be worth hundreds or more, depending on market demand. Collectors and numismatists love coins like the 1990 Jefferson nickel because they demonstrate how even modern change can hold significant hidden value. The record price of $1,265 for the best-known example proves that these coins are worth examining carefully. While most nickels from this year are common, a perfect coin with full steps is a genuine rarity, representing a combination of historical interest, craftsmanship, and the thrill of the hunt that drives coin collecting as a hobby. So the next time you come across a 1990 Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark, don't ignore it. Take a good look at its details, especially the Monticello steps and the luster. What might seem like an ordinary coin today could actually be a valuable and collectible piece of American history. With millions minted but only a handful surviving in pristine, full-step condition, the 1990 P. Jefferson nickel stands as a perfect example of how quality and rarity can transform a common coin into a true collector's treasure. Thank you all so much for watching this video about Jefferson nickels. These coins truly show how even the smallest pieces of change can carry amazing history and surprising value. If you enjoyed learning about these valuable Jefferson nickels, then you're definitely going to love my previous video on Lincoln pennies. Some of those coins have sold for incredible prices you wouldn't believe. So make sure you check that out right after this one. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more detailed videos about rare and valuable U.S. coins. Hit that like button. Share this video with your coin collecting friends and comment below to tell me which Jefferson nickel or Lincoln penny you found in your own collection. Your comments really help this community grow and help more collectors discover the hidden value in their pocket change. Thanks again for being part of this amazing coin collecting community, and I'll see you in the next video.